Yours finance data, such as which you expend and wherever, and how frequently you go in obligation is individual. It is data just accessible to you and yours banking. It has been love how for year, but all how is on to changing. Customers of neither of the largest UK banks include acquired letters and emails in latter weeks informative them how his data can be shared, securely, in some firms. All they requirement to do is offer his permit. The UK's Contest Guard dog says the as-called outdoor banking business mode will revolutionise lot human beings as finance lives, help them get superior deals. Other are far more than skeptical. So how does all the job and which does it indicate for thou? Yours finance information is precious. For sample, a lending supplier would be acute to aware precisely while you go in the red every monthly. So distant, the data, or information, is detained by yours banking. In the history, they may include been acute to sell you some means, such as overdrafts at a specific concern bet. Largest human beings remain loyalist to his banking. The Contest and Markets Credibility, CMA, found how just 3% of private customers go his accounts every year. A new set of EU rules will need banks, house societies and some finance providers to let customers readily and securely stake the finance information in some banks and some controlled finance business community. The CMA is as well coercion the niner greatest present expense providers, Union Irish Banking, Banking of Ireland, Barclays, Danske, HSBC, Lloyds Banking Business Team, National, RBS Team and Santander, to include such a framework prepared by January 13. Questions include been grown on if they will all be prepared in period. In experience and in period, customers will perhaps see a toolbar on his banking's portable telephone application. The will show them how lot cash they include in his various accounts, in various banks, and ultimately how lot they owe on letter of credit cards and keep cards too much. They will as well be capable to selector on some services. So, a industry individual to the banking might get cash leftward above at the end of the monthly and put or rescue it. Else may see it how lot you expend on wideband and propose to selector you to expensive deals. Else may place extraordinary transactions of who in psychological public health difficult situation and alarm a caregiver. Critically, these services will include accessing to the information, but will not include the input and passcode detailed information to yours expense. A client can selector off these services whenever they wish. A set of machine coding rules in the UK, named Annex Coding Interfaces, APIs, will provide all these new services and banks to say to every sum. All of these providers will be controlled by the outdoor banking business mode by finance hold credibility rules. Examples of new services involve the CMA's overview of retailer banking business solved versus corking overdraft extortion, pretending how the outdoor banking business framework will enable us to store about and selector our present expense supplier more than readily. In period, that could be made in a click selector, it is told. Applications for mortgages could be dealt in more than rapidly, as providers and power brokers could accessing conducting story, quite rather than ask for published copies of the recent 3 months of banking statements. Previous proponents say the benefits could stretched for human beings as finance. Anne Bowden, of portable-only Grackle Banking, says customers will be capable to see precisely which they purchased for dinner every date. An app could analyze the calorie levels, and later crucifix check it in how lot work out how man is making. A stringent A's waste would be literary, as so as finance. That gives customers clarity and selection, thing that the big banks include stored of them for too length, Ms. Bowden says. Customers could be bombarded in invitations to try out a new facility, and could rapidly miss monitoring of his finance information. On to Mick McAteer, of the UK's Finance Insertion Centre. He describes outdoor banking business as a silly concept that will conduct to more than finance exception for such already on low incomes. Where is a risk, he says, of these consumer creature operated, such as via business community, offer a new shape of costly payday lending. Diane Coyle, economy prof at Manchester College, says, I was, and yet am skeptical on how lot human beings will wish to offer accessing to his finance data to tertiary side apps, and certainly the stable dribble of stories on safety breaches with the schedule was announced when T include helping. It is difficult to know human beings' relation to his information and safety, although, as lot merrily offer loads of data to public print companies, but on the some brush were unwilling for the NHS to include accessing to his public health information for study need. Latter study by consultants Accenture found how 85% of such requested told the terror of scam would put them off dividing information, and 69% told they would not stake finance information in business community how were not banks. Unprincipled individuals would be acute to accessing the information and use it near data show on public print to construct up a full set of private data. That could be utilized to rip off consumer if the framework is not work so. But organizers say how, where are stringent regulation or, in comparison with currently, all that can be made out of giver accessing to yours banking's input. If whatever goes incorrect and where is an unauthorized transactions, the client's banking must return the cash and complain it behind of the tertiary side if the question was his error.